Welcome to the Storytime English channel. The Lotus of the Full Moon in Kaysan. In the olden days of Thailand, when the land was still covered with green forests and wide rice fields, people lived closely with nature and believed that spirits and deities dwelled among them. Lakes, rivers, mountains, and trees were not only natural places but sacred spaces where divine beings could be found. Among such places, there was a large lake surrounded by lotus flowers. The lotuses were no ordinary blossoms. Villagers believed that within the heart of the whitest lotus lived a celestial maiden. On nights when the moon was full, especially during the month of Kaysan, around May, the spirit of the lotus would rise under the silver light of the moon. The petals of the lotus would glow softly, and from within, the maiden would appear, blessing the land with her purity. A poor orphan girl. In a nearby village lived a young girl named Dasana. She was an orphan, left without parents or family. She owned no house, no farm, and no possessions except her strong heart. Although she was poor, Dasana never complained. She worked in the fields to help farmers, caught fish in the streams to survive, and slept under the shelter of large trees when she had no roof above her head. While other children sometimes mocked her for her ragged clothes, she endured everything with patience and a smile. Some kind villagers gave her rice or fruits, but others ignored her struggles. Yet Dasana believed one thing firmly: if I keep my heart pure and kind, life will one day blossom for me as the lotus blossoms on the lake. The night of the full moon. One evening, during the full moon of the month of Kaysan, the sky was unusually clear. Not a single cloud covered the heavens. The moon shone so brightly that its reflection covered the lake like a silver blanket. The lotuses floated gently, their petals shimmering. Dasana, drawn by a mysterious feeling, walked alone to the lakeside. She had always heard stories of the lotus spirit but had never dared to go. That night, however, her heart told her something magical awaited. She stood quietly by the water. Suddenly, one lotus opened wider than the rest, glowing with a brilliant light. From its center emerged a maiden, dressed in garments that shone like the moon itself. Her face was serene, her eyes filled with compassion. The blessing of the lotus spirit. The maiden spoke gently to Dasana. Child, though you are alone and have suffered hardships, your heart remains pure and kind. Because of this, the heavens have heard your quiet strength. From tomorrow onward, your village will know abundance. Fish will fill the waters, rice will grow tall and plentiful, and the people will no longer suffer hunger. This blessing comes because of your pure heart. Dasana knelt in awe, tears in her eyes, and thanked the maiden. The spirit then slowly faded back into the lotus, which closed under the soft moonlight. A village transformed. The next morning, the villagers were astonished. The lake was alive with countless fish, leaping and shimmering. The rice fields, once dry, were fresh and green, promising a rich harvest. Fruit trees bore blossoms overnight, and streams of clear water flowed freely. The villagers whispered, "This is a miracle." Soon, they discovered that it was Dasana who had witnessed the lotus spirit. Filled with gratitude, they called her the daughter of the full moon in Kaysan and honored her with respect and kindness. The birth of a tradition. From that day onward, the villagers began a new tradition. On the full moon night of Kaizen, they would float lotus flowers on the lake, offering them with prayers of purity and thankfulness. The custom spread from one village to another, and soon it became a part of Thai culture. To this day, people in Thailand still honor the lotus on the full moon of Kaizen, believing it brings blessings of peace, harmony, and abundance. This folktale teaches several lessons. 1. Purity of heart is more valuable than wealth or beauty. 2. Patience and perseverance can bring rewards greater than one imagines. 3. Goodness spreads outward. Dasana's purity did not only help her but saved her entire village. The story reminds us that even the smallest, poorest, or loneliest person can be chosen as a vessel of blessing if their heart remains pure. The tale of the lotus of the full moon in Kaizen is not merely a story of magic and miracles. It is a cultural memory that reflects Thai values, reverence for nature, respect for purity, and the belief that kindness has the power to transform the world. When the full moon of Kaizen rises and the lotuses bloom, people remember Da Sana, the orphan girl whose heart of goodness invited divine blessings upon her village. And so, through story and ritual, the lesson lives on from one generation to the next.